हरि ओम। ओ ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाय नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यंकरवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। So this 18th chapter begins with Arjuna's question. Arjuna wants to know what is the meaning of the term sannyas and what is the meaning of the term tyag. So Bhagwan answers by quoting the words of wise people. He says that kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu. The wise men, they say that to renounce all kamya karma, all karma which are desire prompted, which are meant to fulfill certain desires, the karmas which are there in the Shastra to fulfill certain desires, those karmas should be renounced by a sincere spiritual seeker. One who seeks moksha should not have anything to do in those karmas which promise a result in this world or the other world, because whatever we achieve through karma are limited only. We have seen that even if one attains Swargaloka, that is also limited. Kshine punyam martyalokam vishanti. One comes back to this world after the punya karma is over, exhausted. Even if one attains Brahmalok, that also is limited. So, Brahma bhuvana lokaha punaravartino Arjuna. All these lokas up to Brahmalok are subject to return. Means one, even after attaining this loka, one comes back. So, a sincere spiritual seeker who wants to pursue this path should first follow the path of Karma Yoga, and in Karma Yoga one should renounce all desire prompted activities and only perform Nitya Naimittik Karma, the daily duties and the occasional duties as prescribed by the Shastra, and these duties also should be done without having any attachment to the results of this karma. So, Sarva Karma Phalat Tyagam Prahus Tyagam Vichakshana. So, that is called Tyaga, to renounce the attachment to the results of action is called Tyaga. Though there are some thinkers who say that we should give up all karmas, but this is not accepted in the Shastra, because one cannot, in the initial stages, one cannot give up all karma, and it is not necessary to give up all karmas. One should perform one's kartavya karma. And those kartavya karmas are broadly classified into three groups as yajna, dana and tapak karma. So yajna, dana, tapak karma na tyajyam. They should never be given up. And that is Bhagwan's final opinion also. So Bhagwan says that yajna, dana, tapak karma na tyajyam karyameva tata. This karma should be done. See, what is the purpose of karma? The ultimate, our aim is to gain moksha. A spiritual seeker seeks moksha. And what is moksha and how it is attained? It is attained by gaining that self-knowledge, self-realization. To recognize myself, to gain direct experience of myself itself is moksha. The very nature of the self is moksha. And it is attained through knowledge, jnanam. So if we gain moksha through knowledge, then what is the role of karma? See, though we gain the knowledge, finally we have to attain self-knowledge. That self-knowledge has to be first attained through our intellect. With the help of our intellect, we have to first know ourselves, and then through meditation, that is nididhyasan, should experience our own self. So in order to know myself, I have to prepare my intellect properly. The intellect should be made absolutely pure. Because even the worldly knowledge we gain with the help of our intellect. When the knowledge of the object, that impression forms in our intellect, we gain that knowledge. When we see a flower, the impression of the flower gets created in our antakarana, and we say, I know that flower. So, even the worldly knowledge is gained in our intellect. But the Atma being very pure, very free from all impurities, to gain that knowledge of the self, the buddhi, our intellect should also be made absolutely pure and clean. Then only we will be able to gain that understanding of our self, and thereafter pursue that jnana nishtha and gain direct experience. Just as when we want to see our reflection in a mirror, the mirror should be absolutely clean and good. Then when we look into the mirror, we see our image very clearly. But if there is a dust on the mirror, then we can't see the image properly. Similarly, our buddhi is like a mirror which has to be absolutely clean in order to give us that understanding of our own self. So this cleanliness of our antakarana, our buddhi, can be done only through karma. Just as the mirror, if there is dust, we have to wipe it out. Though the dust is on the mirror, it is not in the mirror. The mirror is by nature, let us say, very good, very clean. But on top of the mirror, there is dust. And because of that dust, we can't see the reflection properly. But when we clean the mirror, remove all the dust, we see the reflection. Similarly, the Atma is pure. Atma doesn't require any cleaning. But the buddhi has become unclean. So with effort, we have to clean the buddhi. And when the buddhi becomes clean, we gain that knowledge of our own self when we pursue the path of Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan. So it is absolutely important that we have to pursue the path of karma before we can undertake that knowledge, before we can gain knowledge. Just as suppose you want to see something, you have to open your eyes, and if there is some dirt or dust in your eyes, that should be cleaned first. So once the eyes are clear, you can see whatever is in front very clearly. Similarly, when the buddhi has become clear, we can gain the understanding of our own self very clearly. So this cleanliness can be done only through karma, but not any karma, our kartavya karma, our duties. And our duties are classified broadly into three groups: yajna, dana, and karma, and tapas. Yajna, dana, tapas. So yajna is our doing our seva, our puja, offering them to Ishvara. Ishvara puja, aradhana, seva. Dana is to share and serve the world around us. Through our karma, we serve the world, means serve that Ishvara present in this world. And tapas is to integrate our personality, the body, the mind, the senses, all are integrated so that they can focus, one can focus them towards that supreme self. So through tapas, sharirik, vachik, mansik tapas, we purify our body, our speech, our mind, and become fit to gain that knowledge. So therefore Bhagavan says, yajna dana tapak karma na tyajam karyameva tata. This karma should never be given up because they are very purifying. Yajnyo danam tapascheva pavanani manishinam. So physical actions done with our speech, actions done with our mind, intellect also, like japa, dhyana, aradhana, all purify our antakarana. But this should be done with totally selfless attitude. Etanyapitu karmani sangam tyaktva phalani cha. Giving up the attachment and giving up attachment even to the fruits of these actions. One should just perform this action out of great gratitude and love. And as we do this, our antakarana will become pure. The samskar will take place. It will purify our antakarana. That is the very nature, that is the very way that karma will work to purify our antakarana. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. It is said that karmas are meant to purify the antakarana. Kartavyaniti me partha nishchitam matam uttamam. And it should be done as a duty. That it is my duty to perform these actions. So here Bhagavan emphasizes that we have to do our karma. He tells Arjuna, he had told this before also in the 3rd chapter, and here also he is telling that if you want to pursue this spiritual path, you have to perform this karma. And even in worldly achievements, one should perform karma. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. This is the message Bhagavan had given in the 2nd chapter also. But even when it is emphasized so much that we have to perform karma to purify our antakarana, there are those who, out of ignorance or out of some fear or some pain, they give up their actions, they give up their kartavya karma, which is not proper. So Bhagavan calls them that type of renunciation of karma, Bhagwan calls them as tamasic tyaga and rajasic tyaga. So that Bhagwan now explains in the following verses. So let us chant verse number 7. नियतस्य तु सन्न्यासः कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहात् तस्य परित्यागः तामसः परिकीर्तितः. भगवान says कि नियतस्य तु सन्न्यासः कर्मणः न उपपद्यते. That the renunciation of niyat karma means kartavya karma, this nitya naimittik karma, this yajna dana tapak karma are niyat karma, are prescribed by the shastra to be done regularly. So those niyat karma should never be given up. Niyatasya tu sannyasah karmanah na upapadyate. They should never be given up because then we will not be able to purify our antakarana, and later on Bhagwan will tell that it cannot be given up also because the Prakriti will force the person to act. So it is best that we understand the very nature of this karma properly and perform them in the right spirit. So niyatasya tu sannyasah karmano nopapadyate. To give up the niyat karma, the nitya naimittik karma, the kartavya karma is not proper. But Bhagwan says mohat tasya parityagaha, out of confusion, out of ignorance, person gives up this karma, then that type of renunciation is called tamasa. Tamasah parikirtitah, the tamasic renunciation. And there are people who do this out of ignorance, not understanding the real path of the spirituality. People, they just renounce everything, give up their work and just roam around in the world out of ignorance. Sometimes people take sannyas, not to do anything, just become lazy. So they do this out of foolishness, out of confusion, getting some wrong sort of understanding. Even sincere on the spiritual path, they out of confusion they give up their regular duties. So that is not proper. Because if our mind is not pure through proper karma, then knowledge, self-knowledge is not possible and meditation is not possible. One cannot gain that abidance in the Supreme Self. It is not possible. It's like the mirror is dusty and we are trying to see our face. That is not possible. Similarly, when the antakarana is dusty, dirty, filled with kama, krodha, lobha, then to just pursue the path of meditation or try to just gain knowledge without fulfilling our duties, that is not proper. And even after being told, if a person does like that, then Bhagwan says it is tamasic tyaga. It is tamasic, and that will not give positive result. The person will suffer more and more, will experience lot of disturbance and sorrow only. So mohat tasya parityagah tamasa parikirtitah. Then in the next verse, Bhagwan talks about Rajasic Tyaga. He says, Dukkhamitteva yat karma kaya klesha bhayat tyajet sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. Bhagwan says, those who give up their kartavya karma, those who give up this yajna dana tapak karma, their daily duties and occasional duties, don't fulfill their duties toward themselves, toward the society, toward the world, toward the devtas, toward the rishi munis, towards nature. Those who just abandon these duties, why do they do it? Out of thinking that it is too much effort, very painful. Dukkham iti. It is full of sorrow, pain. Kaun karega ye sab? And also, it is painful to the body also. Kaya klesha. One has to put so much effort unnecessarily doing various types of work. तो बेस्ट ये सब छोड़ के संन्यास लेके चले जाओ कहीं पर, चुपचाप बैठो. People sometimes out of frustration, out of some trouble at home, getting sorrow, pain in the family or in the society, become so dejected, depressed, and thinks that चलो सब छोड़ के संन्यास ले लेता हूँ. So renounces everything. One fine morning just disappears from home and just appears in Haridwar, Rishikesh or somewhere and stays there wearing some ochre robe, loitering about, eating whatever is available and just wasting his time. Such type of tyaga, Bhagwan says, is rajasic. Even Arjuna wanted to do like that. He told Bhagwan that I don't want to fight. It is better to just go and live on begging. That will be better. So Bhagwan says this is not proper. It is rajasic tyaga. Dukkhamitteva yat karma kaya klesha bhayat tejet. That it is painful to the body, to the mind. That it is best to give up all these actions. भाग जाओ. सब अपने responsibility को छोड़कर चले जाओ. See, some people, they drop all this action and just run away. Or some people, even out of pain and depression and this, they even commit suicide also. That I don't want to do any action. I don't want to face any trouble. I don't want to face all the ups and downs. Best to give up and go. So, out of fear of pain, fear of obstacles and trouble, one gives up one's kartavya karma, duties which has to be done. Such duties are given up. Bhagwan says, Sakritva Rajasam Tyagam. This is called Rajas Tyaga. Rajasic Tyaga. And Naiva Tyaga Phalam Labhet. And they will not get the result of Tyaga. Tyaga Phala. What is the result of Tyaga Phala? Chitta Shuddhi. Antakaran Shuddhi. So they will not gain. And through this Chitta Shuddhi one can gain knowledge and ultimately gain moksha. Shankaracharya ji writes कि ज्ञान पूर्वकस्य सर्व कर्म त्यागस्य फलम मोक्षाख्यम. Moksha one can gain through proper performing our duties. But if one just gives them up out of fear, out of confusion, then na eva tyaga phalam labhet. Will not get tyaga phala. So renunciation of our kartavya karma, yajna dana tapak karma, whether done with confusion or whether done out of fear of pain and trouble, are not good. They are tamasic or rajasic. Then what is sattvic tyaga? Tamasic tyaga, rajasic tyaga should not be done. One should pursue sattvic tyaga. So what is sattvic tyaga? That Bhagavan now tells in the next verse. Karyamitteva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangam tyaktva phalancheva satyagas sattviko matah. Bhagavan says that this sattvic tyaga is not tyaga of the karma, but it is tyaga of the karma phala. One should not renounce actions, but one should renounce the attachment to the results of actions. That is called sattvic tyaga. This yajna dana tapak karma should be done, but one should renounce attachment to their results. Should be done with total nishkam bhavana, without any expectation of any kind. This attitude itself cleans the antakarana. See, just as we want to clean a vessel also, we use clean water. If the water with which we have to clean the vessel itself is dirty, then the vessel cannot be cleaned. So we use clean water and the vessel becomes clean. Similarly, if we perform action without any expectation, it's like clean waters. It will clean our antakarana. But if expectation is there, it will create more raga, dvesha. It will create kama, krodha, lobha. So the antakarana will not become pure. So one should perform this yajna dana tapak karma as karyamitti. Karyamitteva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna. They are niyat karma, obligatory duties prescribed by the Shastra, that you do this puja, this seva of Ishvara, you do this dana, you do this tapas in this way, and whatever other worldly karmas you are doing, do them with following proper values of life. Ahimsa, satyam, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha. So when we do this in this way, it purifies our antakarana. Sangam tyaktva, giving up all attachment, without having any attachment to the body, to karma, through the karma phala. Phalam chaiva, renouncing the phala. When one does this, then this is called sattvic tyaga. And when we pursue this, this itself is karma yoga. What Bhagavan had said elaborately in the 3rd chapter, Bhagavan briefly mentions here that you perform your kartavya karma without having any attachment to the results as your duty, offering them to Ishvara. So when we do this, it will purify our antakarana. Okay, so please remember this. So once we follow sincerely this path of Karma Yoga, what is the outcome? What is the result? This Karma Yoga will lead to Chitta Shuddhi. Thereafter we can gain self-knowledge. Thereafter we can gain Jnana Nishtha, through Niridhyasan, and it will give us moksha. So that's what Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji he writes in the commentary, कि यह तो अधिकृतः संगम त्यक्त्वा फलाभिसंधिं च नित्यं कर्म करोति तस्य फलरागादिना अकलुषीक्रियमाणं अंतःकरणं नित्यैः च कर्मभिः संस्क्रियमाणं विशुध्यति. That one who does this kartavya karma without having any attachment, without having attachment to the result, when one does this, then and regularly nityahi, nitya karma, then antakaranam, the antakarana will become free of all impurities, because no new impurities will get created, and whatever impurities are there, they will get wiped out, and it will become absolutely pure. See, our buddhi is by nature very pure. We have seen before also that this whole world is an expression of Bhagwan's Prakriti, Bhagwan's Ashtadha Prakriti. What is Bhagwan's Ashtadha Prakriti? The 5 Tanmatras, then Ahankar, Mahat Tattva, and Avyakta. These are Bhagwan's Apara Prakriti. So from this Pancha Tanmatras, this world which we see is created. But from that Mahat Tattva, the Samashti Buddhi was created. And what do you call that? A portion of that Buddhi, that Samashti Buddhi, that Buddhi of Hiranyagarbha was created, and a portion of that Buddhi only is our Buddhi also. So it is by nature very pure. But because of our faulty actions and behavior, it has become more and more dirty. It's like the rains. When the waters of the ocean gets evaporated, it goes up, forms the clouds, condenses, and falls down as precipitates as rain. The rainwater is absolutely pure, clean, filtered, good. But when it passes through the, if the sky, if the air is polluted, if it passes through the air, it becomes polluted. And when it falls on the ground, again it gets mixed up with the dust and dirt and gets polluted. So when we collect this rainwater and we just keep it stationary, then lot of this heavy dust will get settled down. When we use alum and all, lot of finer dust also will settle down. And as the dust settles down, we can see the crystal clear waters. Similarly, our antakarana, our buddhi is like pure water only. But because of our faulty actions and emotions, it has become dirty. So through proper actions, this karma yoga bhavana, when we do our actions, our antakarana becomes pure, absolutely pure. And when this antakarana becomes pure, with this pure antakarana, we gain that what you call adhikar, gain the qualification of vivek, vairagya, shama, dhamma, uparama, titiksha, shraddha, samadhan, mumukshutvam. So with such purified antakarana, with this good qualification, when we approach a teacher and we learn from the teacher the self-knowledge, that knowledge becomes crystal clear. We understand. Otherwise we don't understand. We just collect a lot of words, but we really don't understand. Only when the antakarana is pure, we start understanding what the scriptures are saying. Otherwise, lots of doubts are there created in our mind, or we just don't understand. So with a purified antakarana, when we do Shravan Mananam, we gain that knowledge. And then when we do Nididhyasanam, we gain abidance in our own self. Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji, he writes, कि विशुद्धम प्रसन्नम आत्मालोचना क्षमम भवति. When the antakarana becomes vishuddha, it also becomes prasanna. What is the sign that my antakarana has become pure? That I feel happy unconditionally, that inner joy, what is called prasada. One gains that prasada, that inner joy. Not joy which is related to some objects, not joy which is because of some gaining something in the world, but joy because the mind has become pure, the sattvic joy that Bhagwan will tell in shlokas further, that sattvic sukha, that prasada. So vishuddham prasannam, and when that antakarana becomes prasanna, atma alochana kshamam bhavati, then one becomes really qualified to contemplate and understand our own inner self. We have to recognize our innermost self, the kshetrajna, that atma, that sushupta atma. What I was in my deep sleep state, that I have to recognize while awake. See, when we are awake, we are associated with our body, we are associated with our mind, our intellect. But when we are in deep sleep state, we are dissociated from the body, means gross body, as well as our mind. We get dissociated with our stula sharir and sukshma sharir. We remain alone. We experience our own self in its pure form in sushupti avastha. But when we wake up, we don't recognize it, and we get associated with our sthula and sukshma sharir. So that self which I have experienced while in deep sleep, that is called Sushupta Atma, that is the Kshetrajna, that is the Antaratma, that is also called Pratyak Atma, the innermost self. That self I have to recognize while awake. And that recognition can happen only when I dissociate from my body as well as my buddhi in the waking state. So it is a very, very tough path that is called nididhyasan, that while awake one dissociate from the gross body as well as the subtle body and remain as our own self. So when our antakarana becomes pure, one becomes fit to comprehend this self. Atma alochana kshamam bhavati. Tasya eva nitya karma anusthane na vishuddha antakaranasya atmajnana abhimukhasya kramena yatha tan nishtha syat tad vaktavyam. So Bhagwan will explain in the next verse that how once the antakarana becomes pure, we gain that knowledge and gain abidance in our own self and gain that moksha. So that is possible only when the antakarana becomes absolutely pure. Okay? So that Bhagwan now explains in the next verse the phala, the ultimate result of pursuing this path of karma yoga sincerely. It will lead us towards moksha. So Bhagwan says, Nadveshtya kushalam karma kushale nanushajyate tyagi sattva samavishtaha medhavi chinna samshayah. Bhagwan says कि न द्वेष्टि कुशलम न द्वेष्टि अकुशलम कर्म कुशले न अनुषज्यते त्यागी सत्व समाविष्टः मेधावी छिन्न संशयः. This tyagi, which tyagi? The sattvic tyagi. Who is the sattvic tyagi? Who performs his kartavya karma. Which kartavya karma? Yajna dana tapak karma. And renounce the results of this karma. Means don't have attachment. Without having attachment to the results of karma, just does this karma as his expression of his love for Ishvara. Without having any desire for any worldly or otherworldly results. So when such a tyagi, sattva samavishtaha, gains that purity of his antakarana, his antakarana becomes absolutely pure. Sattvena atmanatma viveka vijnana hetuna samavishtaha savyaptaha sanyuktaha iti etat. His antakarana becomes filled with that sattvic bhav. Sattvena atmanatma viveka vijnana hetuna, which is the result of the understanding of who is the Atma and what is not Atma. That viveka happens. When the antakaran becomes shuddha, he gains that Viveka Shakti and comes to comprehend his own self as different from the gross body as well as the subtle body. So Atmanatma Viveka Vijnana Hetuna Samavishta Samvyaptaha Sanyuktaha iti etad Sattva Samavishtaha. So endowed with this Sattva, Sattvic, what you call Param Shuddha Antakarana, gains that proper knowledge, Medhavi, becomes Medhavi means gains the understanding of the self. Once the Antakarana becomes pure, the Vivek Shakti also arises and finally gains the knowledge of that self. Ata evacha medhavi medaya atmajnana lakshanaya pradnyaya sanyuktaha tadvan medhavi medhavitvat eva chinna samshayaha. So gains that understanding of his own self, knowledge of his own self. And because of this knowledge, chinna samshayaha, all his doubts gets dispelled. Chinna samshaya chinnaha avidyakritaha samshayo yasya atmaswarupa avasthanam eva param nishresa sadhana na anyat kinchid iti eva nischayena chinna samshayaha. All his doubt gets eliminated, his avidya gets eliminated, and he has got this deep understanding that gaining abidance in the self itself is my param lakshana, is my supreme aim and goal. There is nothing else to be achieved. There is nothing else to be done. To gain abidance in my own self itself, I should pursue. So he doesn't have any doubt, any disturbance, any confusion in his mind, and gains that abidance in his self through this nididhyasan. Such a person who is well established in his own self, Bhagavan says, na dveshti akushalam karma. Thereafter, he doesn't dislike akushal karma. He will not have any dislike towards kamya karma. Shankaracharya ji writes ki akushalam means ashobhanam kamyam karma. Sharira arambha dwarena samsara karanam kim anena iti evam. Because kamya karma leads to attachment and it leads to samsara. But for an Atmajnani, he will not see any harm even in kamya karma because he is well established in his own self. So he will not dislike kamya karma, nor will he like the good karmas. Means he will become free of the attachment to the karma. Kushale na anushajyate, will not be attached to kushal karma, means the nitya karma, naimittik karma, which is done as an offering to Ishvara, which leads to purification of the mind, which ultimately leads to moksha. But this Atmajnani thereafter has got no prayojan, doesn't see any prayojan, doesn't see any benefit even in this nitya karma. Means become free of karma. See, for example, when we want to travel, let us say, then we go to the railway station, we try to find out which is the train which I have to catch in order to go to my destination, and which are the trains which I have to avoid, because if you sit in the wrong train, you will go in the wrong direction. So I choose the right train, and then I travel, and then I reach my destination. Once I reach my destination, I get down from the train, and thereafter I neither dislike the train which is going in the wrong direction, nor will I have any attachment to the train which is going in the right direction. I have nothing to do with the train. I have nothing to gain nor have anything to lose. Therefore, I become free of the attachment to the train itself. Similarly, our karma is like a train. Kamya karma is a wrong train which takes us into more and more samsara. And nitya karma done with proper attitude, offering them to Ishvara, is the right train. But once we reach our destination of purity of the mind, of self-knowledge, of avoidance in that self, then I have no dislike for bad karma, nor have any attachment to good karma. That's what Bhagavan this says here. This is the lakshana of an enlightened person who has gained this enlightenment by perceiving the path of karma yoga and then attaining this state. So, na dveshti akushalam karma kushalena anushajyate tyagi sattva samavishtaha medhavi chinna samshayaha. So, this tyagi, this karma yogi, gaining that chitta shuddhi, thereafter gaining that atma jnana, and gaining abidance in the self, having become free of all his samshaya, all his doubt, because the avidya itself gets eliminated, remains ever in bliss in his own self, neither hating the negative karma nor liking the positive karma, has become free of all karma bandhan. इति एतत् पूर्वोक्तस्य कर्मयोगस्य प्रयोजनम अनेन श्लोकेन उक्तम. Thus the prayojan of this karma yoga is indicated in this shloka. Such a person, Bhagavan says, कि यह अधिकृतः पुरुषः पूर्वोक्तेन प्रकारेण कर्म योगानुष्ठानेन क्रमेण संस्कृत आत्मा सन् जन्मादि विक्रिया रहितत्वेन निष्क्रियम आत्मानम आत्मत्वेन संबुद्धः. So gains that supreme experience of his own self, direct realization of his own self. Such a person then has automatically all the renunciation of all action happen, because the sense of doership itself gets negated. So there is no attachment to any action. He remains ever established in his own self. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya naiva kurvanna karayan. Like it was said before, he remains in his own self, neither doing anything nor propelling anyone to do anything, remains ever in his own self. So this is moksha. This is the state of enlightenment, which he attained by following the path of karma yoga. Therefore, we should pursue this path of karma yoga, gain proper knowledge, thereafter pursue this nididhyasan, gain abidance in ourselves. All this Bhagavan will explain in detail in the following verses. Okay? So we will see more about this in our class tomorrow. So till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, contemplate on what you have heard today, think about it, make your understanding very clear. What I am conveying here is the message, the teaching of this Bhagavad Gita. So make it very clear. And there is nothing other than this which we have to understand. This only we should understand properly. So make it very clear in your mind. Then your sadhana will become more fruitful. So we shall meet again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम.